Hello, everybody. These are notes on basic string methods. The ones that are on the AP test are the ones in bold, length, the two versions of substring, the two versions of index of, and contains. Some of these others are really useful, but we're going to try not to use them when we're practicing for the AP test. So the first thing we did in class is in groups, I had everybody just kind of read each one down, read the description, understand what it does, and then imagine for a particular input, here it says like s.substring, what if s is hello, what would this actually return? So let's do that right now. Length returns the length of the string. The length of the string is just the number of characters. Hold on, let me fix my pen here. So the number of characters in hello is 5. Char@, returns a char data type, which we don't use in this class, but I might as well tell you. This returns the single character at index 1. So here that would be character E. But remember, we're going to try not to do that. Instead of that, we're going to be using substring. So substring returns a subpart of the string. So it's what happens if you want to extract just a couple of letters. This is the starting index, and this is the ending index. But the ending index is not included in what gets returned. So if I'm starting at index 1 and going up to index 4, here's what that looks like. Here's index 0, here's index 1, 2, 3, 4, but we don't actually include the O in the return. So it'll be ELL. Because we start at 1, we go up to 4, but not including 4. There's an overloaded version of substring that just takes the start, and this returns from the starting index to the end of the string. So if I have a substring s that says hello, and I'm getting the substring starting at 1, it'll start at the E, but it'll return everything all the way to the end, so hello. To uppercase returns an uppercase version of s. To lowercase returns a lowercase version of s. Note that it doesn't actually modify s, so it returns in uppercase. So you'd want to actually probably do something like s gets replaced by its own uppercase version. Or you could save it into a different string, something like that. Okay, index of. Index of you should think of as being a search. So I'm going to search through s for the first time this string happens. And I'm going to start searching at the beginning. So here I am at the beginning, and I'm searching for .java. .java. Oh, here it is. I found .java. So that's happening at index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is index 5. So index of returns the index at the start of where we first find this. And it's the first occurrence. If there was more than one .java in there, it would only return the first one. So what if you want to find the second one? That's what this overloaded version is for. So we're still searching for Java, but now we're going to start at index 6. So here I am. Index 5 is where the dot was. So if I start my search here with the J doesn't have a dot, so it's not going to match. And I'm going to start searching forward from here, and nowhere in here do I ever see .java. So it returns -1 to indicate that it's not there. The search failed. So both of these could return -1 if the thing we're searching for isn't there. Okay, those are the most important. So again, these are the most important AP ones. So as you do your work, have this reference out and be referring to it in case you think you're going to forget these methods. Let's just mention a couple others. So trim eliminates leading and trailing white space. Leading white space are any spaces or tabs or new line characters that happen at the beginning of the string. Trailing white space are any spaces or tabs or new line characters that happen at the end of the string. So you see trim just gets rid of all of those. That's helpful sometimes. Replace will replace the first thing with the second thing. So here, comma got replaced by period. Replace all, you might be wondering what this is about. This is called a regular expression. They're super helpful, very interesting, not part of the AP test, and we probably won't talk about them. But if you want to be an awesome programmer, definitely search it up yourself. They're often very useful. Split is something we are going to use a lot in our class, but not on the AP test. here's the idea. Split will split a string into an array of strings by breaking it into pieces every time it sees that input. So if we're imagining S is banana, S is the thing we're splitting, and we're going to split it every single time we hit A, you could imagine it this way. Here's the word banana. Every time we hit A, we're going to break it into pieces there. So if I'm eliminating the A's and I've broken it into pieces, what I have left over is B and N. And you see that's exactly the array I have down there. So split is helpful if you want to like break a really large string into a list of words. Then you could split on space. If you split on the empty string, then it will break your string into an array of individual characters. So those are useful, but we'll talk about that later. Contains just asks, does this string contain that one anywhere inside it? And it just returns true or false. Okay, so if you want to, you could pause the video and try these. This is just a quick test of the basics. Okay, here we go. Message.length, here the largest index is 8, which means there's 9 total things. If I'm getting the substring from 1 to 3, that means I'm starting at 1, going up to 3, but I'm not including 3. So this is just OL. Substring starting at 5 starts here and goes to the end, so that's yo-yo. Substring starting at 1 going to 2 is the O, but I don't include the L, because I don't include that index. So it's just that lowercase o. Okay, index of, that's like search. So I'm searching for yo. Don't get tricked into saying 0 because it's case sensitive. See how that's uppercase and that's lowercase? So case sensitive. So it's not 0. It's actually the first time lowercase yo happens, which is index 5. What if I'm searching for the first time lowercase o happens? That's index 1. What if I search for x? Well, x doesn't happen anywhere here, so it returns -1. This should be lowercase. Microsoft Word is always trying to capitalize things. If I'm searching for O starting at index 2, I'm not going to be finding this first O. I'm going to be finding the second O at index 3. Finally, if I wanted to get a letter at location 3, it might be tempting to say car at 3, and that makes sense. Instead, because the AP test doesn't want us to use characters, we're going to use substring to do the same thing. So we'll say message substring 3 to 4. If this was happening inside the context of a loop and you just wanted to get a single character at I, at index I, you could say message.substring start at I, end at I plus 1. And then whatever I is, that's the index that you're going to get a single letter at. Okay, come back in the next video and we'll debrief the 3 of the major patterns that you want to be comfortable thinking in terms of.